have one. I just don't have anything in it.
Yeah. But I'm
It's that
still boning. I'm still getting boned. This just isn't the cup because it's dirty, but I am
that
still
kind of
getting boned.
morning. It's that kind of morning, you guys. It's a no
Whew.
alarm kind of morning. Sorry. Sorry about the hair. Sorry.
It's a definitely no shower Tuesday today. All up in here.
Uh-huh.
All up in here.
It was like, oh, the alarm didn't go off. Oh my God.
um you guys, I need to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to tell you that quick story as soon as I talk to you about Healthy Cell. The reason that these tie together is because when I got home from spending an entire day at the hospital yesterday, which I'll tell you about in a second, I chugged like so much of the immunity boost from healthycell.com/chicks, because I am convinced, after spending time in a super jam-packed hospital setting for 8.5 hours yesterday, that I am going to get something. There's no way I'm not going to catch something. So I've been, I have been like sucking down the immunity boost like it is my job. And I'm going to be like taking all my regular multivitamins from Healthy Cell too, because I just feel like I need the extra boost now after having the day that I had yesterday. And you guys, later this month, they are going to introduce a couple new products. I know we've mentioned them before, but just so you know, that there's going to be a new like gel pack of goodness, delicious tasting vitamin goo that is specific for heart and vascular health, and one that is specific for joint relief and mobility. So be on the lookout at healthycell.com/chicks for those new products, if those are things that appeal to you. If not, make sure that you're taking your bioactive multi daily vitamin or your vegan essentials every single day, because that gives you all of the missing vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that your body is lacking, and nothing more. It absorbs 165% better than a regular tablet. So this is what you want for your body. Healthycell.com/chicks.
And if you're like me, you just take the immune boost every single day because I
For
need it.
real.
Because I'm one of those people who has like adrenal crap, and I take the immune boost every single day. Do that. And then I go to our website and I
In that
bookmark
order.
it, and I go there every single day and I read it. You should be doing that too. So do that, chicksontheright.com. Go.
Do it. Lots of stuff to get to, but just a quick story about the state of our healthcare, you guys. It's not good. Wow, I had quite a lesson yesterday. Immediately, and I'm talking the moment we got off the air yesterday, the moment our show ended yesterday, I looked at my phone, which I don't do during the show, and it was blown up with texts and voicemails from my older son's caregiver, who, when I called her immediately, she said, your son is in the ER. And so he had a seizure. Most of you who've been following for a while know that he is severely disabled, cerebral palsy, and all kinds of other issues. So he had a seizure, which isn't uncommon. He does have them from time to time, but there was a huge concern because he was like turning colors, and they were just terrified and wanted to make sure that he got seen. And he seemed to be in a lot of pain. Which is just a lot of pain that we can't explain because he can't talk and tell us what's wrong. So I get there, and you guys, he, along with several other patients, were in the hallway of the ER, the very tiny little corridors. And this is a nice hospital. We know it well. Okay. We've second home for him, but he was in a hallway alongside several other people, patients suffering from God knows what, in the same hallway, because every single one of the 39 ER triage rooms was full. So I don't know what was going on. It wasn't like it was a respiratory thing, right? It wasn't like you heard coughing or like all kinds of people suffering from respiratory issues. Who knows what was going on? The waiting room was like almost out the door full of people who were also waiting to be seen. The only reason that he got a bed in a hallway is because he was brought by ambulance. That's the only reason. And so I stood next to his bedside, sometimes getting out of the way for other patients to be wheeled by me. I stood next to him for 6 straight hours. At that point, they decided, after doing CAT scans and head scans and abdomen scans, they decided, well, he is constipated really, really badly. We'll need like an enema, and we can't do that out in the hallway. The only reason they finally put him in the triage room, and I don't know who they took out in order to make room for him, is because they wanted to offer him that much privacy for that experience. And then there was still, it was a tiny little room, so there was no place to sit or anything like that. They gave him pain meds that did nothing. Finally, I begged the doctor, because they were going to admit him. And I was like, Why? Like, what are you going to do for him that you haven't done already or that we can't do at home? The second doctor that came and saw me, who was Precious, who said, he said, is this your boy? I said, yes, it is. He said, I will do whatever you want me to do. God bless you. And I was like, I want him to stop being in pain. Give him Valium, help him sleep. He's exhausted. He needs rest. Since we can't pinpoint where this pain is coming from, except maybe it's abdominal pain, please give him Valium. And he said, if we admit him, this is the room that he will stay in for the next 36 hours. This little tiny triage room, which I could not have stayed with him in all night long unless I stood. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was horrendous. So I asked him, what is going on? And he said, he didn't explain to me like why there were so many patients, but the reason that everything was so backed up, he said, it's the healthcare crisis no one is talking about. We have no nurses. During COVID, the nurses, the medical teams were treated so poorly that they're gone. They're leaving the profession altogether, or they are leaving for cities and places where they're getting paid a lot more doing travel work, right? Like if you're a travel nurse, if you have that kind of flexibility in your life and you can jump from place to place, you get a lot more money that way. So a lot of people are opting to do that. He mentioned Duluth was a place that's like apparently paying nurses really well, but they're so backlogged that they just can't treat people as quickly as they normally could. And he said it's a crisis, not just here at that hospital, but everywhere. And that it's really, really bad and really, really scary how the quality of care is suffering.
Oh my God, it's gone down tremendously. Yeah. Cause even like if you go in for whatever, it's even just the quality, no offense to the nurses out there who are amazing, because there are amazing nurses out there, and props to you. But the quality of care that you get now is just craptacular.
Oh my God.
Like I don't even want to go to the doctor. I don't even want to go, because the times that I've been here, at least in the past year and a half, I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and go home now, because I'm
just going to do some self-care.
I'm just going to do some of that self-care, because I'm out, because I just don't like what I'm seeing here. I don't like what you're telling me. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I'm not getting the kind of care that I've received in the past, because I've seen it deteriorate over the past 5 years. I've seen it deteriorate. Yeah. People are like, don't get sick.
Oh my God. It's
terrifying.
Well, and what I felt like I was in yesterday, it was so weird, because then on Twitter this morning, I saw like there's a clip going around from Rachel Maddow's show where she was showing how bad the hospitals are in China right now, with people overcrowding and people in hallways. And I was like, that looks like where I was yesterday, at a premier hospital here in Indianapolis that we have gone to for years, and that's always been completely fine. This was like nothing I have seen before. It was unbelievable to me what I was seeing. And the fact that I was like literally next to another patient who was suffering from God knows what in the hallways. I mean, it was just unreal. And so I am kind of terrified about the whole medical system as a whole. Like, this is just,
And then we can get into a whole discussion, which we won't, but we can get into a whole discussion about what doctors are learning, what new doctors are learning in medical school right now, because a lot of them aren't learning what doctors learned 30, 40 years ago, you guys. I had a discussion.
They're worried about pronouns.
Right. I had a discussion on a plane a couple months ago with a guy. Actually, it was when I went to the meet and greet. I had a discussion with a cardiologist, and he was a guy who's like probably in his 60s. He's getting ready to retire. And we had a whole discussion about what newbie, like wet behind the ear doctors, these guys and women who are getting ready to go into the residencies and stuff like that, what they're learning in medical school right now. And he goes, it is vastly different than what I went through when I went to medical school. And it's not
That's not good.
And it's not what we went through. And so they don't have to go through a lot of the hoops that we went through. I mean, they're learning different things, which means that the quality of care is going to go down for all of us, which means that when we're getting old, we're not going to have the kind of care that like our parents had.
Right.
So yikes.
Yeah, it's a big yikes. And it was a big eye opener for me yesterday, because I've never seen anything like that before in America. I mean, like that's what was I was just like, where am I? Like, this is not
America.
It was nuts. And then, to see that clip from Rachel Maddow, and she's like criticizing the Chinese hospitals. And I'm like, I would not have known the difference if she would have shown me a side-by-side photo from the waiting room and the hallways and the ER. Now, I will say the teams that we had taking care of him were fantastic. Like they were, the first doctor was just kind of the second doctor, fantastic. The nursing team, so patient and kind, despite the fact that they must have been so horrifically stressed out by the number of patients that they were dealing with. They were great. And so this is not a knock in any way on nurses at all, because they are doing the best that they freaking can. I mean, given the circumstances, it's just, we're in a world of hurt. And a lot of it has to do with COVID restrictions and mandates. And a lot of these people were pushed out of healthcare, which was the cruelest thing ever that our government has done. We've got some serious recovery to make, and Thomas is okay. So I think, I haven't heard anything this morning, but I'm assuming he had a good night, and fingers crossed he sees the doctor again today anyway. And so I think he's going to be just fine. Anyway, that was a thing. That was a whole thing that happened, and just brace yourselves and don't get sick. Okay.
Yeah, everybody don't get sick. Take your vitamins.
That's right. Get your healthy cell, because take care of yourselves. Thank you, Brenda. Oh, Brenda says prayers and good wishes for Thomas. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, on to some news we need to get to, and that is that Biden, what? It's like you think that he's topped out on like how dumb he can be.
No.
And then it just gets worse and worse.
He flies through the roof. He's just like,
like Willy Wonka's elevator.
Who am I singing happy birthday to? What am I doing?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we got to get to that. And then a nice intro, because he did a MLK Day speech at like a black church. I don't even know where, but he was giving the speech, and he wanted to talk about Ketanji Brown Jackson. You guys. This is just 6 seconds of him really, really struggling with that name.
Words of Ketanji Brown Jackson.
No.
Our Supreme Court Justice.
No.
What?
No.
Kadonk. What did he say?
He doesn't know what he's saying. He has no idea.
That was just so.
What is it? What did you
bad.
just did the cobra? You just did the cobra.
The surrender cobra.
Yeah. Mock just did the surrender cobra with Biden. We do that all the time with Biden.
I mean, that's all you can do, right?
It's
all you can do. It's all you can do.
It's our president.
Now, yesterday he did what was the speech yesterday? Where was he? Do you even know?
I don't even know where. I don't know where it was. I just know it was from Martin Luther. It was a breakfast. He did a breakfast.
Okay, a breakfast.
Yeah.
So he covered a lot of topics in that breakfast.
And that's the thing. It was supposed to be for Martin Luther King Jr. and he was talking about all the things.
Yes,
and
he was. Like,
is that appropriate? I don't know if that's appropriate. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's what a president's supposed to do. But I feel like, he should have maybe just focused. He should have focused.
It was very unfocused.
Right.
And he did cover a lot of topics. One of those topics was, and he gets real whispery, how he gets excited and he gets all whispery. This is when he talks about how I don't know why he keeps trying to declare war on his own people, but he's got this thirst for banning assault weapons, right? So he's talking about banning assault weapons, and he's talking specifically about how if the government and the United States citizenry came to blows, we would all need F-15s. Our ARs are not going to protect us. Why is a president talking that way?
I don't know. He said it more than once.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not normal. And I think we should all be a little bit concerned that he's trying to talk about waging war with us. Here he is.
I'm going to get assault weapons banned. I did it once. I'm going to do it again. There's no social redeeming value. Deer aren't wearing Kevlar vests out there. What the hell you need a assault? No, I'm serious. And ban the number of bullets and go in a magazine.
His hair trimmed in the back.
No need for any of that. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots.
Really?
If you need to work about taking on the federal government, you need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15. I'm serious. Think about it.
He's serious. He's not kidding, you guys. He really
serious.
means it.
He wants us to think about it. Yeah. But what in the meantime, he is doing the put him up, put him up. He's threatening us. He's threatening all of us is what he's doing.
I don't know how else you take that.
He's just
I
an
don't
old
know.
geezer. He's a geezer who is threatening us. And it's amusing, but it's also kind of terrifying.
It's very terrifying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Mark says he was singing the Trace Atkins song, Honky Tonk Badonka Donk.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was trying
Hey,
to
guys,
pronounce.
I don't know if you
Patanji.
noticed, but that was an MLK Jr. breakfast. That's what he was doing right there.
That seems inappropriate.
Talking about fighting with F-15s, and that's what he was doing there at an MLK Jr. breakfast. Right?
Seems a little inappropriate.
Yeah, it was a little weird. Weird.
I've got more Biden to show you, including the happy birthday thing that you referenced. But first, I want to remind everybody that you can get a free Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens, which is the amazing. It's free. You just pay for shipping. That's it. It's a free trial bag for your dogs, and it's going to last you a while because it's a good size. And you just sprinkle a little bit on your dog's food, which is dead and not very particularly good for them because there's only so many nutrients that they can sustain in like a preservative happy place. You know what I mean? But you sprinkle this amazing stuff on your dog's food. They love it. They eat it up rapidly and excitedly, and it gives them what they need that their food is not giving them. So let me give you an example because I have the list of yummy things that are in this. Vitamins and minerals, powerful probiotics, digestive enzymes, omega oils 3, 6, and 9, and a ton of antioxidants. So this is basically like Healthy Cell only for your dogs. And it really does help prolong the life of your best friends in the whole wide world. Your doggaroos, you guys.
The doggaroonies. The doggarellas. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, this is important maintenance for your dogs. And it's a bonus that it tastes great, right? It's good for them. They love it. And there's a fabulous website that you can go to get your trial bag. It's Rough Chicks, RUFF, roughchicks.com. That you're going to get your free bag. You're going to realize that they're going to feel better. It's going to help their joints, their movement, their activity levels, their energy levels, all of that stuff. You're going to see a difference. This is what we keep hearing from people who have tried it we love it too. But people that write us and say, yeah, I tried it and it's fantastic. This is the thing. It's roughchicks.com. RUFF, roughchicks.com.
You guys go to our link tree, chicksontheright.com/links, because it's pink and it's awesome. And that's where all of our stuff is. Go there. And then go to our socials.
So I don't know if they have meow greens. That's a good question. Do they have meow greens?
I'm not sure. I would imagine you could probably
feel like that maybe works.
I don't know this. Don't quote me on it. You could probably give it to your cats, I would imagine, right? You could probably give
that would be a good question. I'm going to ask. I'm going to find out about that.
We'll have to ask
some people like their kitty cats.
We'll ask the doctor the next time we talk to him. Yes.
Okay, so at the breakfast, it was MLK Jr.'s daughter-in-law's birthday. Okay, just so happened to be her birthday because MLK the third's wife. It was her birthday. Her name is Andrea. Okay, so it's like Andrea with an extra R, Andrea. And listen, I know it's not super easy to say that. It's not
but
like
you just
said it off the tongue.
You just said it. You did
it. It's not that hard.
Look at you. Yay!
So definitely, if I were in Joe Biden's position and I knew it was this woman's birthday, and I thought to myself, I'm going to sing her the birthday song, I would probably know that name. I would want to make sure that I knew that name in advance. That's not what happened. Here is what happened.
Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family.
No,
when somebody's birthday, sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy birthday to you.
One more time.
Dear Alan.
No,
happy birthday.
No, it's Alan. So he's singing happy birthday to Alan. That's not at all her name. God, he's a freaking joke, this guy.
Oh
He's just a joke.
What? I feel like there was a V Was there a V in there? I
Is it
feel like there may have been a V.
He totally just wished happy birthday to our producer, Valen. Happy birthday, Valen. Wherever you are. Happy birthday.
You got yourself the birthday song. That was
That's
amazing.
fantastic. The president just wished you a happy birthday. God.
I mean, what?
What
Oh
an
my God.
idiot. He is a colossal moron. And this guy is the leader of the free world. How?
It's bad,
Aim
you
high,
guys.
kids.
It's bad.
Aim high. Good Lord.
He also apparently is unaware of what his daughter Ashley does in life. So
Oh.
his daughter Ashley was a social worker way back in the day. I think the last time she was actually in social work was like 2012, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not according to Joe Biden. This is according to Joe
By
Biden.
the way, even if I didn't want to do this, I'd be in real trouble. My daughter's a social worker, and this is what she does. And so if I didn't, I'd be in real trouble with my Ashley. You got an Ashley, we got an Ashley. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking.
Nobody thinks you're joking ever.
No.
Please stop saying that.
No.
No one. No one thinks you're joking.
Just stop talking entirely, okay? Just go away.
Why does he do this? Why?
I don't know. He just needs to stay on script. He never needs to just ever go off script.
I think that, I mean, it felt like the entire thing yesterday was mostly off script.
Just
which I don't know
ad-libbed. He
who
just
let him
was-
do
yeah,
that.
Just oh my God. I think at this point though, Mock, I honestly think that his party is just like, let him burn. Let him slow burn. Just let him go off
Yes.
script. And then now it's just now it's become the slow burn. They're just gonna let him like rage. now we get to watch the crazy.
Oh
And
my!
it's-
And then there was like a part 2 where he talked about retraining cops because apparently, he's definitely thinking cops are way too they use their guns too much. Cops shouldn't be using. They need to be retrained. So
Yeah.
this is what he said about the retraining.
Emphasize de-escalation. We have to retrain cops as to why should you always shoot with deadly force. The fact is, if you need to use your weapon, you don't have to do that. And look, to call a fresh approach to recruit and how we recruit, how we hire, how we train, how we promote, and how we retain law enforcement.
He's not kidding, you guys.
No.
He really means it. He's serious.
No, everybody thinks he is kidding, but he's not. It's not. No. They're gonna let it.
Use
They
deadly
just,
force. You don't need to do that. What?
they're just gonna let him crash and burn at this point because they want somebody else. They've all decided they want somebody else, except for the women on The View who still absolutely adore him.
It's inexplicable.
There's like 5 people who still love him. And then everybody else is like, okay, let's move on. This guy's senile. Let's move on. Let's let him crash and burn. And this is what they do. And then they turn their attention to I don't know who the other person is they're going to turn their attention to. I guess it's Gavin Newsom or somebody like that. And then they'll turn their attention to the other shiny object in the room. And then they will just completely discard Biden. And they're going to do it in such a way where he's just going to be it's going to be awful. He's going to look awful. Yeah. And we get to watch it. We get to watch just the destruction of him.
It's not a fun watch.
No.
I mean, it's
awful.
painful.
It'll be very,
It's
very painful for
painful.
all of us and our country.
Well, and then this, obviously this classified document scandal isn't going away. Judge Janine on the 5 yesterday kind of went off because she's just like, what about this $50,000 per month rent that Hunter Biden claims he was making on this house? She has questions. We all have questions. She's looking for some answers. Here she is.
Were they doing? Why does Karine Jean-Pierre get out on January 10th and say, we're all transparent? We have completed. I assume it's all been completed. 2 days later, we found out there are more documents. So they not only don't have their story straight, but that tells me that they were doing something during those 2 months. During those 2 months, I can guarantee you, in that house where Joe Biden said where he was living and Hunter said he was paying $49,000 a month rent, which to me is money laundering to his father, Joe.
Yes.
Joe says he only made $19,000 a month on that house. that Hunter gave him $50,000 a month to rent. So there's all kinds of questions that you've got going on here, and nobody's answering them. We're supposed to just say, oh, it's not as bad as Trump. It's worse. At least Trump was a president. These are all Obama-era documents. And I got to say one more thing. Andrew McCabe, of all people to talk about this guy gets thrown out of the FBI for leaking documents. He comes around and he says, you know what? We really should not give the Republicans anything, and we should let them do whatever they want to do, but don't cooperate. And at the end of the day, it's a huge gift to Trump.
Yeah. The money that was passed back and forth. So we know, at least I shouldn't say that we know, but we can surmise that Hunter was basically paying his dad. Hunter was giving money to his dad.
And where was he getting the money?
China. Or Ukraine. He was getting money from like China and Ukraine and all these overseas like business deals who were all those people were trying to get access to his dad. It's not like Hunter could do anything. He's a drug addict. He's a total druggy loser. And so they were giving him money to give them expertise about anything because he can't do anything except for like do crack. So the only thing they were wanting is access to his dad. It's so obvious.
How dare you disparage such a talented blow artist?
Oh, I know.
I don't know how you can do that.
I know he is a really good blow artist. You're right. I'm so sorry about that. I apologize.
It's really,
it's true.
It was beneath you.
But I mean, it is beneath me to do that. But I mean, that's the thing. They just wanted access to Biden. And so they paid for it. And of course, nobody is following the money. Nobody's doing that because Democrats are untouchable. And then
there's an interesting thing that Tucker pointed out. Now, I have not verified this for myself because I never looked at Joe Biden's website, but apparently on the White House or Joe Biden's like official website, way back when they were trying to be like, Trump won't show his tax returns, Biden put out his own tax returns for the past, 10 years or something. And they were available on his website. And now all of a sudden, mysteriously, there's a couple years missing, 2017, 2018, something like that.
Isn't that interesting?
Weird.
It's so weird.
It's really weird. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Sketch, man.
It's very sketch. All of it's sketch. And I hope that this new Republican House, they mean it when they're going to investigate this stuff, because that is some shady numbers right there. That's some sketchy numbers.
They absolutely should. I hope that they do, because they can. They can do that. Right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they can try to do, like abolish the IRS. They can be like, we're going to try to do that. You'll never be able to do that.
You're never going to do that.
I mean, it's cute that you want to do that. We're all very excited for you to try to do that. But at least they can do some of these investigations so we can get some answers to some of this garbage that we've been wanting answers to over the past couple of years. So do that.
Please. My name today is in honor of Darty. Bleh. I sound like Biden. It's in honor of Dr. Marty Makary, who appears on Tucker quite frequently, and he was on last night to talk about this whole thing that happened over the last several days, which was, first we saw headlines saying the CDC is doing studies to see what this whole connection between the vaccine and strokes are. Oh my God, it looks like there might be a link. We better investigate ourselves to make sure that there's no link. And then a couple days later, they were like, yep, all clear. No link here. Everything's fine. So Dr. Marty Makary decided to talk about that. And I think this is very, very important. The points that he makes in this, it's a tiny little bit on the long side. It's a little under 2 minutes, but I think the whole thing is worth listening to, about how ridiculous this whole thing is, why we don't trust the CDC and the FDA.
Make of this?
Well, we know that out of 550,000 Medicare beneficiaries, 130 of them had a stroke within 3 weeks of the new bivalent vaccine. Now, this is the vaccine where it was authorized without any randomized controlled trial. Now, there was clearly a statistically significant signal over the baseline rate of stroke, or else we would have never been hearing about this for sure. And when there is a statistically significant increase, that triggers a deeper dive. Now, the CDC has tried to quickly downplay it and said, oh, well, we checked it out in other databases like the Medicare database, which is a database of billing codes. It's not designed to look at actual clinical events. So it's not fair to say that we looked at another imprecise database and didn't see it there. And it's not that far of a stretch. If you remember, in September, we had a big study come out that showed that the incidence of complications, severe adverse events, not just lying in bed, was 1 in 800, and the German study said it was 1 in 5,000. Now, I'm not saying pull the vaccine from the market, but we've pulled vaccines for frequencies of adverse events far less common than we're seeing with the COVID vaccine.
True.
Rotavirus was pulled for a complication rate of 1 in 10,000, and the swine flu vaccine was pulled for a complication rate of 1 in 100,000. So there's clearly something there. The FDA's own analysis that somebody there co-authored with other researchers found that there was a clear incidence of pulmonary embolism 50% higher than baseline from the COVID vaccine. It's not a big stretch. Now, the FDA, which is supposed to be our top regulatory agency, said, don't release this data to the public because it'll hurt public trust. The way to increase public trust is to be totally honest and transparent and show us the underlying data set. Instead, the CDC has said, look, we ran other statistical tests, and in the other statistical tests, we didn't see the complication play out. But you don't just run statistical test after test until one of them shows that the signal goes away. You actually run the proper statistical test, which is why the underlying data set should be public information.
And they wonder why we don't trust these agencies anymore.
Yeah, don't exactly. It's just, yeah, he's so right about like stuff has been pulled in the past for having less, AEs and SAEs. I'm astounded by all of this. And no, we don't trust you.
And for them to actually say we're going to hide this from the public because we don't want to cause mistrust.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What kind of logic is that?
Right. Way to have us not trust you.
Wow.
Way to go. Bravo.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that is the reason for my name today. Also, I have a clip to share with you guys about that Donald Trump appeared. I don't know if this was a radio show or if it was a podcast yesterday, but he's now being asked in this what he plans to do if DeSantis decides to run against him in a primary. And by the way, there are 2 new polls showing DeSantis not only beating Trump in a potential primary, but also beating Biden in a general. So that's, take polls with a grain of salt, but that's what those polls show. But Trump is very Trumpy in his answer about how he plans to manage the DeSantis problem.
Those rallies were unbelievable, and he ended up beating Gillum. And most people thought he couldn't do that, but I thought he could. So I got him elected, pure and simple. He would have never... If I said I wasn't going to endorse you, and I was close, there was no reason to go wild about endorsing him. So, now I hear he might want to run against me. So we'll handle that the way I handle things.
Yeah. So
we'll handle that the way I handle things.
I swear.
Take that how you will. He's gonna handle
well,
it.
that's gonna be interesting, right? It's gonna be very.
This is gonna be like the craziest year and a half ever.
Yep, it's gonna be super fun.
Okay, last clip before whack, and that is, in case you missed it, because you don't pay attention to pageants, like we don't pay attention to pageants. The Miss Universe pageant is now owned for the first time ever by a non-man.
By transgender. It's a biological male. And this biological male happens to be like, it's a transgender that's wanting, I guess, that biological male became a female or wants to be a female. It's interesting story. This individual is a gajillionaire. Like
how?
I don't know. I'm not really exact. It's like a rags to riches kind of story. But yeah, it's this individual is now a gajillionaire. And so she decided I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy Miss Universe
because it's for women.
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you can't get more women than a
Right.
pageant.
And this and the announcement is just, I'm sorry. To me, at least, the way that this this person got up there and was like, "This is what Miss Universe is going to be now," creepy AF.
It is creepy.
To me, anyway.
Take a look at this.
Yeah.
Universe organization. From now on, it's gonna be ran by women, owned by trans women, for all women.
I mean,
For all women really around the world to celebrate the power of feminism.
What
was-
is even happening?
for all women.
All women.
It's like,
And people loved it. They ate it up.
it's like, okay, all right. Because listen, the patriarchy is everywhere, man. It's like, it's everywhere. Might as
Wow.
well have biological dudes take over that too, right? Where the hell are the feminists? Where are they? Oh,
They
that's
were
right,
in the
they're-
audience clapping.
That's right. Like little sheep that they are. Shame on them.
Oh my
Shame
gosh.
on
that,
them.
that I have not. I've seen some
Women.
things, but that was a.
Yeah,
That
and they're
was
just all
crazy.
like all the little sheep in the audience going, "Oh yeah, patriarchy! All the biological men are taking over all of our shit. It's so great! Yeah, it's so great." Losers.
Oh my gosh, this is just our world, man. It's nuts.
Borked. It's
It
totally
is nuts.
borked, as you
It
would
is
say.
borked. Completely borked.
Unbelievable.
All right, what is in your whack today? Let me
There's
get
a
the story. Do I need to
coach in-
show anything?
Yeah, you can. There's a coach in Texas. You can show the picture. There's a coach in
Okay.
Texas that made I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. I don't know how I feel. I'm curious to see what people say in the comments. There's a coach in Texas that made his players, I think he's on leave now.
He is.
Yeah. But he made his high school players do 400 push-ups, I think in a matter of, was it
An hour.
an hour? So they had to do 400 push-ups in an hour. And a lot of these players were hospitalized.
Which that's bizarre to me. Like
Doesn't that see, that's why I don't know how I feel about it. Because I remember when I was that age, I can do, I don't know, I think 400. I mean, I can do 50 or 60 push-ups now and I'm 51 years old.
I cannot do them.
I can do, so I'm thinking
I have
as
no
a-
upper body strength.
but I mean, I have osteoporosis. I'm old. And I'm thinking if I can do that many now, like back in the day when I was an athlete, 400, I don't know. I feel like, okay, listen, that's a
And why
lot
do
of
Get
push-ups.
hospitalized like that is the weird part. I get
That
that
to
it would
me-
be like super awful and bad and
Right.
horrible and
Right. But
torture
within
and
an
all that.
hour, like if you had an hour to do them, I feel like that's why I have mixed feelings about this. Like I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know. How do you guys feel about this? 400
Well,
is a lot. 400 is a lot.
It is
But-
a lot, and there are players who are coming out saying this whole story is overblown. There was water available; they could have taken a break at any time. I don't know why people are acting like this was such a big deal. One of the kids that was hospitalized was diagnosed with that. What is it called? It's hard for me to say. It's like where was it?
It's like a
Oh yeah,
neuromuscular.
rhabdomyolysis, which can be caused by muscle strain.
Right.
And that is not a good thing to have. But
But did he already have that?
Well, that's the question, right? So I don't know. I know that there are kids that are defending the coach and saying he would never put us in actual danger. And any reports that you see about water not being available is a lie. So I don't know what to make of it. It does seem excessive to make your kids do 400 in an hour, but
Somebody said that's 6 push-ups a minute. Is that right? I don't do math. I was told there'd be no math on this job. It's about 6 or 7 a minute. I feel like
Okay.
6 or 7 a minute, you guys, is not that big of a deal. I can do 6 or 7 a minute. I'm 51 years old. I mean, it would be really hard, but this is the thing. Military can do 100 push-ups in a few minutes. Yeah, this is the thing, Craig.
And these are athletes.
These are high school football players. These are strapping young men who are out there getting their crap kicked every day. So I just feel like, yeah, we have to push ourselves. I'm of the mind where I think people are really soft now.
Right.
And especially young people. I just really think that they're soft. I think that, and I feel like you can always do more than you think than you can physically. I really feel that way. I always tell my daughter, maybe people will give me crap for this. You can always do like 25% more than you think that you can. It's mind over matter, mind over body. Just push yourself. You got to push yourself. And people will probably be like, that's terrible. You're a terrible mom. I just don't think, I think that we're capable of so much more than what we think that we are. Our bodies are these magnificent machines. We're capable of like amazing things. Our minds talk ourselves out of a lot of crap. So I saw that and I was like, I don't know if I think that is, I just don't know. I'm on the fence there. I just want to know what you guys think. Maybe you could put me in my place on that. I don't know. I just was a little bit like, that's weird.
As
400 in an hour?
I can't do push-ups. And so I
some
can't
people
speak
can't.
from
And
personal experience on this.
Like, because some people have like weak wrists and stuff, or some people just can't. I get it. But when you're a high school athlete, I just feel like 400 in an hour. I mean,
especially if you can take breaks. I don't know. That doesn't seem that much.
I thought that was kind of wacky.
People are saying it is excessive though. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, maybe you shouldn't be on the high school football team.
Anyway, the guy is being investigated. He's on leave as they do their investigation.
He'll probably lose his job and they can hire like a ballet instructor to teach them or something. I don't know. Anyway.
It is time for some My Pillow talks. You guys, get yourself, if you have not gotten moccasins or slippers from My Pillow yet, you are missing out on the Squeezy Kitten for technology, which envelops your feet in delicious warmth hugs. I mean, I don't know how, it's just, they are the best. Those are on mega sale. The Giza Dream Sheets are on mega sale. mypillow.com/chicks. And speaking of pageants, at the Miss Universe pageant, you know how all the countries come out one by one and they say the name of their country, right?
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
So this year's contestants were kind of psycho about how they said the names of their countries,
Really?
Especially France. Like,
yes.
Did you see her? She was like, France.
Yeah.
Yes. So weird.
Yeah, she was a little bit weird.
It was so weird. So there's a guy on TikTok who has totally made fun of all of them in the most glorious way. I cannot wait to show you guys this. So great. Watch this.
Albania! Beijinho! Feliz! Brasil! The British Virgin Islands!
Virgin Islands.
Colombia! Costa Rica!
Denmark!
Indonesia!
Italy!
Qatar! Lebanon!
Panama! Venezuela!
I cannot. Oh my God. Could not stop laughing at that. That is the greatest thing ever.
Why were they doing that?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to know what the United States did.
I don't know. I don't have that part.
Oh God. That is the greatest thing I've seen all day. That will be the greatest thing.
Right?
You're going to have to send that to me immediately. I have to share that far and wide.
Well, wait, there's more.
There's more.
And at least as far as TikToks go. This one is a little lesson on how socialism never works. And I know preemptively, people are going to be like, please share that so that I can share it. It's going to be on the website. I promise it's going to go on the website, chicksontheright.com. In just within an hour, it'll be there so you can share it. I know everybody's going to like this one. A great lesson on socialism.
Let me tell you a scary story. An economics professor at a local college made a statement that she had never failed a single student before, but had recently failed an entire class. Class had insisted that socialism worked, that no one would be poor and no one would be rich, a great equalizer. The professor then said, okay, we will have an experiment in this class. All grades will be averaged and everyone will receive the same grade. No one will fail, but no one will receive an A either. After the first test, the grades were averaged and everyone got a B. The students who studied hard were upset, and the students who studied little were happy. As the second test rolled round, the students who studied little studied even less, and the ones who studied hard decided they wanted a free ride too, so they studied little. The second average test result was a D. No one was happy. When the third test rolled round, the average was an F. As the test proceeded, the scores never improved. As bickering, name-calling and blame all resulted in hard feelings, and no one would study for the benefit of anyone else. To their great surprise, all failed. And the professor told them that socialism would ultimately fail, because when the reward is great, the effort to succeed is great. When the government takes away all the reward, no one will try or want to succeed.
Why does this have to be said out loud still?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, how is this not
the
a
problem?
given?
The problem with that video is that no one under the age of 30 will watch that entire video. So they'll be like, this is too long.
TLDR. What's the TLDR?
Too long. Too long. Moving along.
You're so right. Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
that's so absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to some fun things. When giraffes fight, you may know this already, but they use their necks. And it is terrifying
Yeah.
when giraffes fight with each other. And that is why I had to share this clip.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
They are so violent.
God, they really are. It just
Oh, my
hurts. It
God.
just hurts to watch them. Ouch.
Oh,
It's cool. I mean,
yeah.
it's kind of cool, but it's also
It's a little
ouchie.
cool, but yikes. Also, I love when dogs that are meant to be out in cold weather, like your St. Bernards, your Huskies, like some of your dogs that are literally made for cold. That's
Yeah.
what their coats are for. They like it. They like being in the cold. Invariably, when anyone posts a video of those kinds of dogs outside laying in the snow, they will get a jillion comments from people who are like, oh my gosh, if it's cold outside for you, it's cold outside for them. Let your dogs in. You're cruel dog torturer,
Yeah.
animal abuse, whatever.
There's always going to be people who think that they know what the dog is thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that is why one of those dog owners made this.
Hey, Rory. Some lady on the internet says you're cold. You should probably come inside. You're not made for this cold weather.
I love it. I totally love it.
I'm going to stay out here. This is where I like to be. What are you doing?
I totally love it. Tell that lady to bugger off. It's none of her business. Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, sometimes we rail against heavy use of filters all the time because you know, people abuse them like crazy.
Yes.
It's just ridiculous. But some filters are meant to be fun, and this is one of those filters. And so a girl decided to use it on her boyfriend who was angry at her already. They were already in a fight, and it just made everything a bajillion times more hilarious.
He's like, what? Oh gosh, I gotta do that. I have to. That's so great. I want to use the one with like the giant eyes.
Yes.
The next time that my husband and I get in a squabble,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
do that.
That just cracked me up. Also, cats do not play. When it comes to feeding time, don't mess with cats. I'm gonna just need that. I'm gonna need that over here. Nuh-uh.
No, I'm gonna need it. That dish is way too small. Hey.
That cat hit him square in the head.
They're really cute.
They are pretty cute.
Mhm.
Remember the dog that like does the trust falls back in the bed?
Yes.
That's Nala. So somebody bought the owner of Nala bought a security camera just to see them doing that on video, like with the what is it called? The night vision, right? Like the
Yes.
video camera night vision. Here's what it looks like.
That dog is
I
awesome.
want my dogs to do that.
Oh
It's just
my
like,
gosh.
and
I'm
here
gonna
I
lay
go.
down. Okay, there we go. She's just very floppy. So floppy.
And then the absolute rudeness of this dog. This dog is told not to do something, but he makes sure to get the last word.
Get down. Stop. Stop. Get down. Stop. Stop.
Take that.
And then I didn't know there's these cats that have the super short legs, and so when they crawl, they look like they just are legless. Have you seen those cats? Like that
No.
Grumpy cat. Grumpy cat had the tiny little legs.
Grumpy cat. Yes. Yes.
I guess that must
Is that
be,
a
this one of
breed? Is
those
that a
breeds.
particular breed of cat?
guess.
Maybe somebody knows.
So look at how like they look at him.
Oh my god.
I mean, isn't that so weird?
Oh my god, they're so fuzzy.
Caterpillars. They're
Oh
like
my-
caterpillars.
Yes, they are.
That's weird.
They're
I don't know
so
why we're breeding
cute,
cats to not
though.
have legs.
Look at the one in the background. The one in the background's like, I'm not moving.
I'm not
I'm
doing
gonna
that.
sit right here. I'm gonna sit.
But that cat
right
also
here.
has like no legs. It's also got the no leg syndrome. See?
They should. You know what they should call that cat? Lieutenant Dan. That's what I would name that cat. Is that inappropriate?
Anyway, those are your talks for today.
Kitty Roombas. That's what they.
Kitty
Brady
Roombas.
says,
That's what
kitty
they look like.
Roombas. Yep.
Yes.
Mhm. I love
Okay.
it.
We got to bring it in before presents.
We have to bring it in. Yep. You guys bring it in. Oh, it's a big hug. It's like a big Tuesday hug. Oh my gosh, you guys, big hug. And then I have so many gifts.
And we
You guys-
do know that the paint by numbers came from Jana Marie. 'Cause
Jana
she wrote and was
Marie.
like, it was me. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I'm the problem. It's
Problem,
me.
It's me.
Jana Marie. I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, have a wonderful Tuesday. If you're sticking around, I've got some gifts I can show you. So have
Yay.
a wonderful Tuesday. Okay. All right. First up on the gifts, I believe that Mock already got this, and it's from Carrie Dobrinsky, Reason to Vote for Democrats, which is empty.
By our friend Michael Knowles.
Mhm.
He spent
Yes.
a lot of time and energy on that book.
Gosh, why didn't we think of that? Seriously. And then I got this great blanket that has scripture on it.
Yep.
Scripture, right? So I got, and I think Mock got the same thing.
I
So
did.
thank you so much. I got some chocolate from, and it's in my kitchen being eaten right now. And it's from Diane Berg. Okay, got some chocolate. And then I also got a Petco gift card, and that is from Joyce. It's from Joyce Hallman. Is it Hallman or Holman? I think it's
Holloman.
Holloman. Yeah, I got a Petco gift card. And then I also got, remember how I talked about how I love dead people's things? Tammy Grant sent me this book about selling dead people's things because she has, I believe, an antique store, and her antique store is Blue Owl Antiques, and that is in Elk Rapids, Michigan. So if you guys are ever in Elk Rapids, Michigan, you can go see her in Blue Owl Antiques. So I got selling dead people's things.
Nice.
I got a book. I got this from Jenny Lunsford. This is for my gate.
Love it.
No stupid people beyond this point. I got this great little sign. And then, of course, I got the paint by numbers from Jana Marie, which you guys saw that. I'll show it to you again. Like this sweet little, all the paints and everything are in here. I'm so excited
I
about
can't
this.
wait
You have
to do
no idea. Like, I'm all about paint by numbers now. Have you ever done a paint by numbers?
I have not. This will be my first experience. I'm very
Oh my
nervous
God.
about it.
Really? Are you? Why are you nervous? Oh
Well,
my
because
God.
what if I screw it up? Then it's done, right? Like then I'm done.
You really can't screw up paint by numbers. Like I'm telling you, you really can't. It's the
Really?
great. Yeah. I mean, I felt like my first one, I was like, am I going to screw? No, you really can't. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. I'll take your word
Robert
for it.
Taylor, I got me this.
Yes.
Call me biscuit, which I love. I love dish towels. And then thank you so much for that. I love it. And then I got ornaments from Vicki Spencer. These really cute little ornaments. See you guys like
Oh
these cute
yeah,
little-
I
this
love
upside down, sorry.
that.
little ornaments. There's a bunch of them. I got like a bunch. There's like a whole bag of these ornaments. So I got a bunch. So there's that. So those are my gifts. Those are my gifts I wanted to show you guys. I got a bunch and I was super excited about that. And I believe that there are cookies waiting for me.
There are.
Did you get cookies?
Debbie from Debbie. Yeah, right. I wanted to go and get them yesterday, but then my whole day was like a
I know. So I'm going to go today too, so we can show you the cookies tomorrow because I bet you they're going to be fabulous, and I'm super excited about that. I didn't get a chance to go yesterday either. Yes, so I will be going to my PO box again today and hopefully get some cookies. I'm so excited.
Oh, and we didn't mention that we're going to have Michelle Tafoya on our deep dive this week.
That's right.
So that's going to be super fun.
She will be on today, and then we will be talking about that tomorrow. And you guys will hopefully be able to look at that tomorrow. So I will be teasing that tomorrow when we're on our show. That's right, because tomorrow's Wednesday. So
is it going to come out Saturday, or is it going to come out
that's right. It'll probably come out Saturday because I'm not used to that. That's right.
Yeah.
Valen will probably put it out on Saturday. So, but I'll be teasing it tomorrow nevertheless. So you guys have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.